The early 1970s, 50 stocks ruled Wall Street. Everybody owned them. Everybody loved them. Analysts said you'd never have to sell them, just buy and hold forever. Then, they crashed. Some lost 80–90% of their value. And right now, in 2026, the same exact story is playing out again, and almost nobody is talking about it. Let's get into it. Back in the late 1960s and early 70s, there was a group of about 50 large cap stocks on Wall Street known as the Nifty 50. We're talking Coca-Cola, Xerox, Polaroid, Disney, companies so dominant, so obviously great, that investors called them one-decision stocks. What does that mean? It means you made one decision buy, and then you just never sold. No matter what price you paid, no matter how expensive they got, these companies were going to grow forever. That was the thinking. And investors piled in. By 1972, these 50 stocks made up close to 45% of the entire S&P 500's value. Some of them were trading at 50, 80, even over 100 times earnings. For context, that's insane, historically speaking. Then came 1973 and 1974. Inflation spiked. The Fed hiked rates. And suddenly, the market asked a simple question. Wait, are these companies actually worth what we're paying? The answer was no. The Nifty 50 collectively crashed. Stocks like Polaroid and Avon fell more than 80%. It took some of these companies over a decade to get back to their old highs. Some, like Polaroid, never really did. Now, fast forward to today. We don't call them the Nifty 50 anymore. We call them the Magnificent Seven: Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Tesla. And check this out, at their recent peak, these 7 stocks made up roughly 36% of the entire S&P 500. That's not the 45% peak of the Nifty 50, but it's the most concentrated the market has been in 50 years. We are talking about 7 companies holding more weight than the Nifty 50's 50 companies did for most of their run. Sound familiar yet? Just like the Nifty 50, the Mag 7 are considered obviously great companies. Amazing balance sheets. Real earnings. Real dominance. Not the empty hype of the dot-com bubble. And that's exactly what makes this dangerous. In 1972, nobody thought Coca-Cola or IBM were bad companies either. That was never the problem. The problem was the price investors were willing to pay for guaranteed growth no matter the valuation. Today, some of the Mag 7 trade at valuations that assume near-perfect execution for years into the future. Any stumble, a slowdown in AI spending, a regulatory hit. A earnings miss, and the market could ask that same brutal question it asked in 1973, wait, is this actually worth what we're paying? Here's the part that should really make you pause. In 1972, investors weren't worried either. The Nifty 50 felt safe. These weren't speculative penny stocks, they were America's best companies. Buying them didn't feel like gambling. It felt like the smart, boring, responsible thing to do. That's the exact psychology playing out right now with the Mag 7. Nobody's panicking, because panicking is for meme stocks and crypto, not for Apple and Microsoft. These are safe mega caps. Everyone's 401k is loaded with them, often without people even realizing it, just through index funds. But that complacency is precisely what made the Nifty 50 crash so brutal. When concentration gets this extreme, the market isn't just betting on 7 great companies anymore, it's betting the entire index on 7 great companies. And when a handful of stocks carry that much weight, even a small crack can shake the whole market. Now, I'm not saying Apple is the next Polaroid, or that Nvidia is about to become Xerox. These are real, profitable, dominant businesses. That's not in question. But history doesn't repeat exactly, it rhymes. And right now, the rhyme is loud.